witnessed this wonderful talk on plagiarism. We now move on to one of the most contemporary and hot topics of the era, that is artificial intelligence. Does it really put us all authors into automation? That is the question that we are seeking answer to. To enlighten us on this, we have none other than Dr.Avinash, Supe sir. I am sure sir needs no introduction to all of us. A toy in the field of hepatopancreatic biliary surgery and medical education. Sir has experienced it all. A prolific writer, an orator par excellence, achievements galore in his career, yet so caring for all of us. I invite sir to explain to all of us the nuances of using the automatic author judiciously. Sir.
Thank you so much. I think it's such a pleasure to come. As Sanjay said, we have to come to this hall and speak with you all. I've been speaking here for last more than say 48 years, 50 years more than that. And I think most important is I'm the oldest person in this particular conference speaking on the youngest topic. I'm going to speak on role of AI in content generation, and it's going to be. How do you really proceed this? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Milind, and the whole authority of JPGM, organizing committee of JPGM, and my friends. And I must tell you that these slides are not made by my conflict of interest. They still don't make such good slides. The basic, what I'm going to talk about, basics of AI. AI in content generation and academic writing, what people are using, ethical concerns, and most importantly, how do we use the AI responsibly. And last few years, I've been going all over the Southeast Asia speaking on responsible use of AI and conclusion and take messages. Now, artificial intelligence has already entered our life. Whether it is Jidiyatra, we are seeing movies, or robots, I'm sure we all of us are integrating. I think they're all being part of AI. And in spite of me saying, and if you look at the PubMed, there have been more than 2 lakh publications, and mainly in 8 years, only on AI in medicine or in AI in healthcare. Now, if that is what we are really working with, we need to look at this topic more in details. We cannot ignore it. We cannot really say that I don't agree with AI. Initially, the people's reaction was AI resistance. But now I think we have to really accept it and go it further. Now, initially it was artificial intelligence, then came machine learning, and then came deep learning. And today we are in an era of deep learning. In fact, we were in LLMs, now we have gone into the world models, which are the next step of. I won't go into too much of the latest developments, but we should be really aware of all this. Now, there are 2 types of AI. One is a discriminative AI, another is a generative AI. Discriminative AI has been there for many years. How many of you use ChatGPT regularly? Don't be afraid, use it. Today, I think when the review came in 2025, 83% of students all over the world use ChatGPT. I think we have to really understand. How many of you use other than ChatGPT, LLMs? I'm sure there's a really sincere number of people, so I'm sure we can go higher. So discriminative AI is something which discriminates, like Vijayaka. Or nowadays when you go for a conference, they will send you a mail, they will say take your selfie, and they'll take out all the photos or videos of that conference. This is all AI. This is called as a discriminative AI, which is very commonly done, machine learning for diagnosis of pneumonias, risk prediction and everything. Today I'm not really going to talk about the clinical aspects, what are the limitations and all, but this has coming up slowly in that particular area. So actually in COVID people tried it. They tried to look for pneumonias, they tried to look for X-rays and now CDS, like decision making and all everything. How do you find out saving lives in ICU? All that is discriminative AI. Okay. The generative AI is recent thing which came in 2023 when ChatGPT 3 came. That was the time 3.5 we got exposed into the free version. Now it currently is the 5 version which is a paid version. And in the last 1.5 years, we have seen thousands of AI apps coming. And we got confused. We probably lost in that huge kind of a turnover. So we need to really think how are we going to use it, because ultimately this is a money-making business for the Western world. It's like Microsoft Office came, all these techno bureaucrats are making money out of this AI. We have to be aware of this, what we are going to use and what we are not going to use. So large language models, which is called as LLM, now replaced by world models which are different. They give you on many things, and I'm sure we have been using it AI for many small things. Having said that, look at this video. This is what we're doing now, AI navigation during robotic surgery. It will tell you where to dissect. It is going to help you in teaching. It is going to help you in clinical practice. It is going to help you how to really operate. It has been changing our life tremendously. Okay? And maybe you say this is not a plagiarism, but this is AI navigation. Having said that, let's talk about AI in content generation. That's the topic for the day. And that's what Melis has asked me to speak. So I'm going to speak on content generation. How do we look at it? Where AI can help. Can I get a water bottle? I'm sorry. Okay. So where AI can help. Refine your research question. Conduct a smart literature review. I'm going to show you some examples at the end. Methodology and data collection. Come up with a great title. Sometimes they give you ideas about great title. Write an introduction. And it can also help in data analysis and interpretation. Discussion and future research. Write a conclusion. Citations and references. Editing and proofreading. And gain outreach. You can ask them which journal I want, which conference I should present, what are the editorial comments. You can do anything with AI. And there are enough chatbots which are there which can give you answers like this. Now sometimes you feel you're talking about why publish and all this effort. I think I see most of it. I gave 3 more talks, I think 10 years ago in IR and Science Hospital and in KEM about why should we publish. I remember that. And that time there was so much of inertia in the faculty that we never used to publish. But I think if you see even Dr. Nagaraj's talk in the last 2 years, he has published much more than what he did. But the whole idea is that in the last few years, we have seen people publishing more. Okay? And maybe various reasons. Maybe you are getting ideas and getting literature reviews have become easier for all of us. Now, let's see what are the benefits of AI in research. Idea generation. If you're stuck with some ideas, many times people come to your thesis and you're not getting ideas. Maybe that is one. Effortless information retrieval. I think the days are gone, many of you must not have seen, used to go as a student in the library, search those big volumes to get one article, and then to check, write those references was an era of the past. Smarter literature reviews. Don't just do literature reviews with Google and PubMed. Now there are ways of doing smarter literature reviews. Writing assistant and editor. Many of us come from a non-English medium school. Our English is not so good, not flowery, not potential. Some of that can be really used and enhance efficiency of your work. Many of our projects or thoughts or original ideas remain on your computer or in your mind because you don't write them. I've seen many times, we used to discuss it on a round that gets surrounded. After a few days, we forget somebody else published it, we should write it or publish it first. And this happens to all of us many times. And that will increase your efficiency. Personalized research assistant. In fact, I would say AI is a personalized research assistant for you. Okay? Having said that, let's see what are the AI tools for research. Let's see how do people go about AI tools. Now, there are 2 types of chatbots. I think don't bother about photos and all. I'll give you this one presentation in PDF format for everyone. You can use it. I mean, this is not something, this is no reason speaking. This is general chatbot and academic chatbots. Now, what is academic chatbot? Now, general chatbots are ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini is free now with the Google. Then Claude is available. Many of people getting Perplexity, which is free with the Airtel. So many people have started using it and it has been available. Okay? Claude, Grow, Perplexity, Nova. What has happened today? Previously, we used to have ChatGPT, but now we have got aggregators of this. For example, previously when you started in 2000, we used to get one channel like ZTV or Star, and we had to subscribe for individual channels. Today, what has happened? We have aggregators. That means we have got now Tata Play Binge, which takes 20 things and it gives you this. So same thing now, Nova example, Perplexity or Pro is a very good thing which we use. So I think people have started using it as an aggregators, where people have started using all this in a big way. Okay. So what are the benefits of ChatGPT? I won't read all this, but I'm sure it gives you basic framework, accessible, democratic, efficient, and reviews, and helps you to support ideas. There are a lot of limitations to chatbots. It cannot provide real time if you are not paid version. 5 can provide, but otherwise it's a data of 23. Data is not up to date in many of these non-pro versions, so not paying them. Faulty memory and hallucinations, biases. Sometimes if you are getting a data, they will give a white skin data, but they never give in a black skin what are the diseases. Most of the repertories are Western and German. We don't have, especially oncogenes and all. So we need to be very careful about it when we are using it. And questionable multi-language support. So they say we give it, sometimes it is not there. Generic output and plagiarism, I think they talked about it. I will also talk about ethical aspects. And occasional difficulties in understanding figurative phrases. And most importantly, chatbots do not have their own personality. You have to develop that personality with repeated use of this, of your own chatbot. So, like the same question is put by Millie and me, it will give different answers because years together, chatbot has understood me differently than me. So I think this is very important for you to understand, and most important, you have to learn how to do prompt engineering. Okay? If you want to learn one thing, learn prompt engineering. Because once you understand how to write a prompt, you can get the best out of any chatbot. Spend your time. I think we should have a workshop on prompt engineering. That's what we should do. So academic chatbots are interactive AI applications using academicians and researchers and serve as a virtual assistants. Now, you have to be expert in understanding which chatbot to use for what purposes. And that's the trick actually. Now, we will see two examples of how to use academic chatbots. First is formulating a research question. Many times you have an idea and you want to develop what are the research questions. Now, for example, you put ChatGPT a question on the research question for anemia. Simple, you put it nicely that I have a community medicine and I want to do this hypothesis and all. They'll give you so many kind of prevalence, impact on health outcomes. You can add, I want a mixed method research. I want to add quantitative and qualitative. They give you idea. Now the whole question is you have to refine those questions. You add to anemia for Gemini will give you different ideas. I want to do research in the field of pediatric anemia among urban populations. Suggest me some good research questions. Look at the prompt what you give. So they will give you wonderful. Then you can ask for co-pilot. They give similar, sometimes slightly different. All these kind of questions. Now the most important is finding academic literature. Now this is where we get stuck. We are trying to look at academic literature and sometimes there's a new topic and as a new generation I feel we get lost. We don't want to spend a lot of time. Actually when I say if I put some topic and I get 300, 130 papers, something like that. You never realize which one are good papers or which one are not good papers. Which are land-kept papers. How this topic has been developed over years. Unless you are deep into it, then only you will realize that this topic is good. Then only you will be able to write a good review. Then only you will be able to write it. So this is where AI, according to me, is the best for getting an academic. Now there are two ways of doing an academic literature, sir. First thing, you find an academic literature. We used to use Google Scholar, Semantic Scholar, Science Direct, PubMed. You put one topic. I'm sure Vasumati does a lot of workshops for PubMed. I'm sure some of you are doing it. He says how you really localize, put and, or, topics. That gives you some degree of a little localization. But you can go a little further on this. So, Semantic Scholar is an AI power. Use NLP to analyze academic papers. And it gives you the contextual utilization of those papers. It will give you exactly what to use. Jenny is another one. It will give you to answer your research questions and it will also give you citations, AI commands and auto completion. Consensus is another one it will also give. But I don't use all of these. I use what is called as a customized research. There are so many customized research like art discovery, evidence hunt, Umata, connected papers. I don't know how many of you have heard these names. Anybody has been using all this? No. So if you have not used, worth using one project that is called as a research rabbit. Research rabbit is something which does intuitive kind of an exploration. That means if you put a topic, it will give you a complete networking history of that particular topic. It will give you networks. It will give powerful visualization stream. It will give you collaborative features. It will give you citation management. Say for example, you take one few articles from PubMed which are systematic review, which are updated, and you put it into this research rabbit, and they will give you who started first article you should read in 2020, 2008 who wrote, what are the repercussions of that article, who many people wrote, who are the key authors in that. I think these are important things for you because that gives you complete history of that particular topic, how it has been done. Now previously we never used to get this. We used to just get a PubMed. Now with AI we are able to get this. Now if I want to go to topic on say I want to look at say how do you combine technical development and technical revolution with empathy in patient care. Let me say I want to write about this. So what I would do, I would first go to PubMed, I would do a research, and then I would find out what are the key systematic reviews which have come on this. I will go to research rabbit, I will put this on this, and it will give me who have worked on different topics, and then I will select those areas which I will review on my own, and then I will create a review of literature. Don't you think this becomes a more customized, more logical? It will give me a complete history, and I can do this within 1 hour, and within the time, everything I can make it. So that is speed, efficiency is very important. Rather than reading junk, many times what happens, Sandhya wants to write an article, she will say, one postgraduate, to find out those articles, he goes down to PubMed, he takes a bunch, it remains on table for many days. You don't read, you don't know what is the crux of those areas. It gets time for you to understand that topic. So if you want to get the whole idea topic, you do this. You can do with study design and protocols. How do you select an appropriate study design, develop a protocol, consent form, sample size, all this has become so easy now. Many people get stuck on this. Don't get stuck. This is one of the easiest things to do, to get now with all this. These are all AI, this is professional writing, we'll give you everything. They'll give you prompt generators, chat document. Most important is to analyze literature and summarize. That's what a big pain for all of us. Okay. Now what is that? There are so many apps, they should do it for you. There are so many apps to do a summarization of your whole article. They would give you, for example, chat PDF is one. Chat with any PDF. You put PDF on that, it will summarize for you. Sometimes it may be wrong. So if it's very important paper, look at it. But it will summarize for you. Don't use the same words. It will give you a gist what does these articles say. Then if you are interested, you can always go deep down and create your website. Insightful is another article. Size summary. Wonderful. It will give you, it founded in 2023. Chat doc, I like this is one of the best things. Chat doc. Chat with documents, get instant answers, ask the file, get instant info which you want. Select your test and receive an AI analysis. Many times it will tell you their results have limitations. This is a retrospective study. They have not done a prospect case. This is a one single institution study. It has its own limitations because it does not have the sample size adequacy. All these are in many journals when we discuss this, I realize editorial notes. More than 40 to 50% reviewers use ChatGPT for reviewing the articles. This is what it is. I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you anything which is not. So summarize the document. You put the document and it will recommend. It will give you summaries like this. Elicit is one which will analyze research paper at a superhuman speed. Summarize papers, extracting data. Size space, do hours of worth reading in minutes. Discover and analyze research without limits. Language translation and learning. This is a big paper. Sometimes you used to get a Portuguese paper, Spanish paper. Previously we used to have problem. Now it's a very easy thing. We have so many translators. We just put a paper. Now you can quote Brazilian papers, German papers, Japanese papers, and all these papers can be easily quoted and their languages are fairly accurate, 90% plus accuracy. Submission to Institutional Ethics Committee as per government. I'm trying to search it. Somebody has to work with us. How to go across ethics committee is a big problem. I was ethics committee member for 22 years with all these ladies, beautiful ladies working. And I must tell you, we need to have a tool which will help us what ethics committee is going to ask questions. Data collection and data entry survey. Now this has again become very easy today. Most of your postgraduates want to do a research, they will use this question Pro, Filau, Zoha. People used to think Google Forms, which is a very old, it's like using a Facebook. If the Facebook is used, that means you are old. So similarly, if you are using a Google Form, you are old. You understand that? Fine. So I don't use Google. Second is data visualization and analysis. I'm sure all of us use Excel, data used to use, my generation used to use. And now people use a different kind of analysis. I think one of the things which I like was data squirrel. Have you been members of data squirrel? It gives 4 analysis free. So you can use 10 emails and you get 40 analysis. So create your many emails, Sandhya Kamat 1, Sandhya Kamat 2, Sandhya Kamat 3. So you can use this, so you can get 40 free analysis. And what does it really do? Data squirrel, you put it in Excel, it will give you complete analysis, charts, key values, everything it will. And it gives you within about 5 minutes. It's a very interesting way to use this, and it is fairly accurate. Even if you use ChatGPT for using e-test or something, it is easy. I'm sure how many of you use Excel for doing analysis? See, when I did my thesis in somewhere in 96, we used to use Excel. And there was a data kind of an analysis tool we used to have, package, and that was it. But today I think with all this, it is one of the easiest things to do. Okay? And academic writing, editing and proofreading, there are so many things which will write for you, articles. There could be plagiarism issues which could be there. Trinka, technical word choice. Sometimes you get stuck. So you write it in your own language and say which word I should use, they give you a suggestion. And that is where I stuck sometimes. What I use, I don't use it for clear-cut writing. But if I have stuck with one word, I use this. And there is nothing wrong about using it. It's like going to Google and asking him. Google, especially if you are using Marathi, also they give good kind of thing. I write in so many newspapers. Practically every week I write 1 or 2 articles. So magazines and all. I think many of these you help by these things. Academic writing and proofwriting, paper, pen and word wise. These are free AI writing assistant and editors. I'm trying to show maybe the free ones, because we are always as a full-timer working about payment. Quillbot, Spinbot and BitAI. But paraphrasing is one thing which you use. When I went to Famer in 2004, they taught us paraphrasing. And that time there was a whole session on paraphrasing. How do you paraphrase? This is a particular thing you write, how do you paraphrase? There was a full session that time for you. But now I think with Quillbot has come. It has become one of the easiest things to do. You have to just put something and you can write the report for your conference. Sometimes, we attend Dean's meeting, I was also Dean, and sometimes those reports are useless. And HODs have to sit down for days together to do a report. Don't waste your time. I tell you. Basically, I think there are now softwares available. You put your phone, you take them, and it will create something for you. You just edit it and you save your time. Please understand, this is very important. Managing references and academic social networks is something which is very important. Many times we spend a lot of time in citations, references, and nowadays most of the journals will give you how to cite, so very easy for you to do. They will tell you the particular style and all. But in case you're stuck, I think you should just go to ChatGPT, cite properly. What you write, can you cite article as per the Vancouver style? I have one article, I just write it down, I remember vaguely. The study of stress in medical students, 88. Now, certainly this is a citation in Vancouver style. I have to just copy it and put it. This is not to worry at all. There is no loss of originality or something. It is only helping me to cite it properly. And this is something you should do. There's nothing wrong. Why should I spend so much time where is my comma and where is my thing and all? And then editor brings up, it's a pain for the editor. So we should use it. Okay? There's nothing wrong. My events paper, these are something which help you to do bibliography. There's a way for the Almetrics also. We are talking about bibliometrics, but Almetrics also. I don't know how many of you understand Almetrics. Almetrics is a social media kind of thing. So, plagiarism detection and AI detection. Now, this is what is worrying all the time. You put your papers, and previously we used to put in something and we used to get 10%. You know, first time you put it, sometimes it comes as complete rage. You feel like, what have I done? So don't get worried about it. You know, see, ultimately, you know, we are thinkers which are from a different type of thinkers. So what happens ultimately today, there are so many like copy links. I think our hospital was trying to buy a copy link, 1.5 lakhs. While Turnitin is something which I use very extensively in Tata Institute of Social Science. And there all the assignments come through Turnitin and they give me plagiarism software index. So as I said, as he said very nicely, we have to really look for the ideas rather than numbers. You know, and see, there is one paper which says that they say that you don't look for, you know, recently paper was there in American Journal of Physiology, Educational Physiology, and they say that the journal should not look at the AI component because you should look at the idea. But anyway, these are thought processes of editors which will get crystallized over a period of time. So, Zero GPT AI detector, these are free tools available to you. There is another tool called Desify. This is basically for thesis. You know, if you want to create a thesis, it will give you a wonderful feedback. It will give you what are your strengths of your thesis, what are your weaknesses of your thesis. It will tell you what are the, everything it will do, similar publications, what are things you have missed and all. And this is what students use it. Okay, the biggest worry I must tell you about all this is, if you put an original idea into a chatbot, be aware that it can be taken away. So if you have an original idea, don't put it. Writing a letter and all is okay. Now let's come to the most important aspect of ethics of using AI. That is something we all should be really aware of. And this has come over a period of time because I know tools are more. I can talk about tools, hundreds of tools. You know, I've cut down my tools, a workshop to only about say 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But it can be a 4-hour session on how to use these tools. But let's come to the most important topic, ethics of AI. I have two questions. How will you preserve your academic integrity by using AI? This is a question all of us should really ask. I should be conscious enough to understand how I'm going to use it. And secondly, should postgraduates use AI? Even if you say don't do, they are anyway going to. But there are many teachers say, AI said I kya, you know, that kind of thing. But I think it's okay. I mean, I personally feel, yes, but you should maintain your academic integrity. You should know what has come from AI and what is your own original thoughts. Okay? So, there are so many publications which are come and which are fairly recent publications, 2025 publications. Now, this came from Advances in Simulation. And it said literature review, summarize key studies, suggest relevant papers, drafting and outlining, clarifying concept. This is all okay. Unless your idea is original and your data is authentic, I don't think these things will be. Grammar and consistency, there's nothing wrong about using it. Discussion and hypothesis, ethical compliance, and data integrity. These are all acceptable ways of looking at it. And avoiding plagiarism, readability. Sometimes, you know, you put it and say, is this paragraph readable for the undergraduate students? Is it readable for the rural areas? So it gives you context. It is common man can read. And then language translation. Always disclose the use of AI tools. And it should not be listed as author, but acknowledge for its role. What you have done for it. Human oversight is essential to ensure accuracy, quality, and integrity of documents. And this is what lesson I want you to take. So, guidelines for ethical users AI as a scholar. You can use AI tools. Don't just copy and paste AI related text. I would say, whatever you want to do, contextualize it, personalize it, add your own thoughts. You can get outline, but change it. Disclose what AI tools are used and how you have used. There's nothing wrong in using them. Be compliant with data protection laws. DPDP is coming in a big way. So think about what you're really doing, especially if you're taking away somebody else's data. That is not acceptable. Avoid biased, outdated and wrong information. You have to be aware while using AI. Don't use AI blindly. Understand the limitations of AI. AI can be wrong, it can be hallucinations, it can give you sometimes completely wrong perspective. So don't believe all that. Okay? Try to think logically. See, all of you are very good people and you are good educationists, you are good researchers. So you have your own platforms. Try to see how AI fits into this rather than AI changing. This is ultimately a moral panic button, AI. And we have got so many calling buttons, competency-based education, we have got so many things. So don't get lost into these buttons. Try to see this is the tool. Now, so this BMC 2025 gave these three categorization of ethical use of AI. And it says ethically acceptable. Generative AI can be used for grammar, spelling, readability and language translation. Ethically contingent again. Appropriate use of getting outline from content, summarizing content, improving clarity of content, brainstorm ideas, this is all acceptable. And ethically suspect. That means drafting a de novo text, developing new concepts and data interpretation. It said, don't use it. And this is not their way of, and this is what acceptable for many people. So I think if you really see, if you go a little deeper into this and try to understand the process, you say, okay, this is where I'm okay, this is where I have to really think it will work. Okay? There is a very nice paper actually, came in March 2025, Ethical Engagement of AI in Education. And this is from Advances in Physiology Education. Wonderful paper. Perspective, teaching in era of generative AI. Today I don't think we need these halls to take classes after classes like we used to sit from morning 9 o'clock to 12:30 and then again 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock listening to our teachers who do classes. So we don't need all this. We need much more than this. Okay? So ethical engagement, what it really say, it gave about ethical and responsible use of AI. Understand the limitations of AI, that is the first principle. Ethical data handling, maintain privacy, maintain academic integrity. Do not detect AI. This was that paper it said. Some people, most of the people don't agree. But he said, for education purposes, don't detect AI. For research purposes, detect AI. That was his thought process. Optimizing for learning and accessibility. Utilize LLM as a supplementary tool. Ensure accessibility and equity. That's a big problem. You know what is the big problem with AI? Two things. One is equity and accessibility. Many people are not able to buy all this. Those students' versions are cheaper. Canva Pro, you can get for 1 year in 450 rupees. Perplexity Pro, you can get for 1,000 rupees if it's a student. Otherwise, you have to pay 20,000. Another problem is every time you use AI, you are wasting water. Remember, you type one AI, you are wasting a lot of water. Read about it. It's a kind of an environmental issue. Why it does? Because it searches and it causes all that. Promote culture of feedback and develop AI literacy. I personally feel last 3 years my mission is AI literacy amongst the medical practice. I feel all of us should become literate and then use it more responsibly. So, responsible of AI, when you really talk in education, it shows very nice chart in a Miller's chart. AI can be used for knows how, but shows and does. AI cannot be. So now people are talking about it. I don't know how many of you understand this Miller's pyramid, but it is what you have to realize the limitations of AI and use of responsible ethical use and optimization for learning and accessibility. This was another paper on nature. It says human weighting and parenting, substantial human contribution has to be there, and acknowledgement and transparency. Ultimately, everybody is talking about acknowledgement and transparency. Author checklist. Intellectual contribution, academic competency, accuracy of content and transparency. If yes, if no, it is ethically suspect. So in all this I realized that AI cannot be an authority. It is still not become an adequate for authorship. So AI tools do not meet generally agreed standards. Scientific authorship reflects both contribution to the work and accountability. They cannot be accountable. I cannot sue and AI for legal, in case it gives me a wrong treatment under the body. An AI platform can produce written content but cannot be responsible for the accuracy of that content. So there are a lot of resources available. This is the European guideline for AI guidelines. There are so many guidelines which have come. India came out with also guidelines for AI, but they are draft, they are not implemented yet. There are so many things for training, AI for general editors, AI for publishing course seminars, acknowledge AI tools for academic integrity, which AI tools they have used and how they are used. Okay. Now, I have been writing articles on AI. This is one of my recent editorial which got published about 1 week ago. This is the responsible use of AI in content generation. I think you should read about it, that what I have written very clearly, what is the where you should not do. In fact, you should read all my publications on AI. This year I will publish 6 publications in Nature and Science Diary and all the index publications. But you should really remember that it is, I have used AI, but I have mentioned AI. What area I have used. See, when you are an editorial board, I remember I'm an editorial board of medical education, many journals. We had few hours of discussion on what is the AI policy for journals. And they have changed over years. What used to be there, they completely changed. So what is future of AI and research and beyond? We have to think about collaborative intelligence. We cannot today remain that I am intelligent. Yes, all of you are IQ more than 40 years ago. All of you. You are very highly intelligent people who are sitting in AEM, MLT, which is innovative. So, if you all are intelligent here today, that means you have to be responsible using it and have a collaborative intelligence. In spite of that, use AI with all this. Autonomous scientific discovery, AI-powered systems can independently formulate ethical AI governance. We have to have an ethical AI governance and democratization of AI. AI technologies have to be more available to everyone. So equity and access has to be really increased. So we were beginning, we used to always say AI resistant. When AI came, most of the editors started resisting it. AI क्या plagiarism है, सब nonsense है, सब है. They never believed it till the time. This was one. Then came AI acceptance. People started accepting AI. Okay, AI, but they started using it. We are using Google Maps for years, and it's nothing but AI. Okay. Then come AI integration. Now we are starting integrating AI over day-to-day life, into our day-to-day activities, our day-to-day publications. But what is more important today is we have to go to the phase of AI override. That's most important. Like a good clinician, when you see an X-ray being wrongly reported, I go to radiologists and say, what you're reporting is wrong. Your CT is not showing what patient has. I won't believe you. I won't do this for him, or I will do this. Many of the areas in radiology or pathology, sorry Kanchan, sometimes we realize that they don't agree with the clinicians. So what we do, we override. So we should go to a level where you should understand that AI is wrong and I am going to override that AI, even if it is right. You understand my point? So we have come from AI resistance to AI acceptance to AI integration to AI override. So if you are able to reach to this level, that is what it is. Why I got really started working on AI? And thanks to my 6th or 7th standard granddaughter who came to me and showed me a lesson that is the ethics of AI in her curriculum. And that stimulated me to read about this. So what are the lessons learned over years? AI augments and does not replace. AI makes life easy for teachers and students. Trust but verify. Ethics first and technology second. Personalization over standardization. Inevitable AI in premium applications. Whatever you say, you are all going to use AI for your applications. At whatever level. You cannot really get away from this. Empathy cannot be automated. So these are the lessons which I have learned over years. And augmented collaborative intelligence is AI has come to stay. AI has a potential to improve your research. AI will not replace researchers but will augment their performance. After a few years, A researcher who does not understand AI will lag behind. Researcher who understands AI will go ahead. It's like a pilot or surgeon or radiologist who understands AI will be replaced by a radiologist who does not understand AI. So embrace technology by staying within and have an academic integrity. That's what I would like to say. Thank
you. What a terrific session. Okay. The real life examples and the way AI has developed, you explained it so nicely, sir. And the take home message, of course, AI is here to stay and we have to embrace it and utilize it as well as possible. Thank you very much, sir. I think in the interest of time, sir, we will not be able to take questions.
Sure. I actually finished in 45 minutes.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. It's not fault of yours.
Sir, you told a lot of apps for AI. So is there any app for, suppose you are a reviewer to the journal, so any article comes, you can put it in the journal. But they give very descriptive things, sir. You want some kind of a short, review, where
I think, Charan, the most important thing is to understand prompt. Have you undergone, anybody has undergone prompt workshops? It's worth going through it. There are formulas for this. RTF, CTF. You understand these words? No. You write down who you are and how do you really do. Say, for example, you write down, I am the senior professor in cardiology who has 20 years of experience and I work in a public hospital in a big city of Mumbai. And I will be reviewing this particular paper, which has kindly tell me the strengths and weaknesses of this paper and also let me know what are the limitations and drawbacks of this paper. Kindly give me in a docs format in the words of about 250 words.
once it comes to sir,
It will give you exactly, once it comes like this, don't just copy and paste. Go through the paper and verify. Maybe sometimes they have missed one point. I think there's a very nice talk by Gitanjali. I don't know, Gitanjali was the vice chancellor of Gita University. She presented in SRMC last few days. She put paper in chatbot, pharmacology paper, and she showed how many wrong things even the chatbot has. So, using a chat GPT is not a good thing. Go for an academic framework. Go for size summary. They will give you little better kind of a summary. And don't blindly do it. But it will make your life easy.
Pinka is in paid app, sir?
This is a good question. How much you pay, how much you don't pay. Okay, and that's a very important thing. Now, ideally, all of us resist in paying. Don't you think so? Yes. Right. We try to use free versions. At least I would advise you pay for at least two kind of apps. Airtel gives publicity fee, which is an aggregator, which is very good. Gemini is free with many kind of these telephones. I think some of them give free. So use it at your mind. And Canva Pro, many times if you have a child at home, use it for Canva Pro as a student, which will help you to create your invitations, marriage invitation, party invitations, everything. Everything you can get into that. And if you want to correct videos, then use InShots. Now many of you use for Reels. How many prepare Instagram Reels? I'm sure. Supe, you don't prepare Instagram Reels. So if you are preparing Instagram Reels, then InShot is better because most of the reels are only 45 seconds. First 3 seconds are most important. 7 seconds if you should capture your language. All this will be helpful for you by InShot and Canva. I think you should really use, you have to go and talk to youngsters. Don't be other people. They are the people who do it so well. Once I was going through from Pondicherry and some intern came to meet me. He was picking me up from Chennai station. And Chennai airport, and he was taking me to Pondicherry. And he said, sir, I want to take your interview and create a reel. I have a site called Humans of Medicine. So during that 3 hours, he took my whole interview. He talked, then we had. And then, after his whole team did research on me, they created a 50 seconds reel. And they posted it, and it had more than 3 lakh views. Understand that point? And I'm not there, I give credit to him. But what is important is the way you create reel with the help of AI. I think that will work. Now you'll ask me, is it plagiarism? doesn't matter for me if someone is creating that. But if it's a publication, I would 10 times be academically aware. But if you're creating social media content, I think don't bother about it. Just think, review it and do it again.
Can I ask one question?
Sir,
If
one
you have a
question from...
One question.
You can ask
Sir,
Sudhir.
from
It's
Supe,
okay.
sir wanted to ask you. Sir,
Ask Sudhir.
So I just wanted to give a comment, sir, if you don't mind. I mean, as my respected teacher, I might disagree with what you said about this shortcut for reviewers. I think it's...
No, I don't agree with her. She just asked me.
No, I think it's unethical to put someone else's unpublished data onto AI because we don't know where it's going.
yes.
So if
There was so much of
you
criticism on
don't have the time to review an article, say no,
this.
but don't do a bad job and a
What
shortcut.
I'm trying to say is, Sudhir, you are absolutely
I
right.
agree with you, sir, but...
No. I had a lot of discussion, in many of the journals, there was a policy, but this is the statistics which I got.
Absolutely.
23%, actually more than that, 43% of reviewers today use ChatGPT. But I personally feel I agree with you. If somebody is a very original work, I don't think you should do it. Because you are exposing to the privacy kind of laws. I fully agree with you. Yes.
Same question, sir.
Sir, we are in the times which we are living in the future which is coming, sir. What originality are we talking about? How much we will be able to prevent our privacy in our own homes? I think so. Today we might be talking like this, but 10 years down the line, when everywhere AI is entering, I don't think so we'll be
That is
able
all
to...
about ethics, beta. Ethics has changed. Ethical boundaries change, yes. But currently there was a lot of criticism, a lot of discussion about reviewers using AI. And there was a strong suspicion that reviewers should not use AI. Currently also most of the journals don't like you. They ask a question also. Hey, have you used AI for review? And then if you agree with that, I fully agree with Sudeep. As a reviewer, if you don't have time, don't say that, I don't know. I mean, it's okay, we get every day 10 kind of invitations for reviewing papers. I don't think we have to agree to all.
Is AI generated your own original articles? It can lead to the plagiarism. If your AI generated your own original one, can lead to the plagiarism.
What component you generated by AI?
By putting everything of your original work in the chat.
See, if your own data, but the first thing is the risk of it is getting lost from that box.
Okay. And if
Secondly,
it is there,
if
it
you
is
use
still
it
called
only
as a
for a
plagiarism.
small purpose of its own. But so I would advise you to generate the whole article with it. I would advise.
But it is still called plagiarism.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be called plagiarism. It is not accepted by many journals. I mean, if you look at most of the journals would say you have a high AI component and it will return back. You know, today most of the journals will not allow your article to go ahead. It doesn't go to the editor. You know, the system only will block you. It will send you back again, saying that you are AI generated and you have to make it.
It is the help of the professional.
So some declaration also they want. So how much you should declare, they don't know. But
We should declare, no, I have used it for citation, I use for data kind of, I mean, basically for what you call.
I have seen that some of the journals are now accepted that most of the authors use AI for preparation of their manuscripts.
Yeah.
So declaration is what is required. And
See,
ultimately
I
what you said is important.
I showed you this figure, no? This is most important thing. We are in a phase of AI integration. We are still not gone to the AI override. So many journals have started accepting it. But limited use,
Yes.
as I said, ethically acceptable.
But I remember your side. You said you have to personalize it, and you cannot use everything which is given by AI.
See, all this is a very, very
Can we request
1
in
year
the interest of time, sir? Okay, it's a very hot topic of contemporary era, and I really appreciate, sir, and the audience, this interaction. Let's give our applause to you. Thank you very much, sir. You know, I remember a dialogue from Three Idiots. जो चीज आपका काम आसान कर दिया वो मशीन है सर, तो जो चीज आपका काम आसान कर रही है वो सब AI है सर. Everything is AI. So thank you very much, sir. I'll request Sandhya Kamath ma'am to please felicitate sir with certificate. Let's hear it, please. Sir, moving from the automatic author to what happens to our submissions. This session before lunch has two wonderful speakers who will take us through the crucible of the craft from an editor's point of view and a reviewer's point of view. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bharat Rekhi. Dr. Rekhi is a professor of pathology at the Tata Memorial Hospital Research Center. He has innumerable publications and has received prestigious awards, orations, and medals. He is an elected board of directors, International Academy of Psychology 2025. He is a prolific researcher, author, organizer, and an achiever. We welcome you, sir. It is also my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jairaj Nair. He is professor and head department of respiratory medicine at Lokmanya Tilak Municipal Medical College, Mumbai. He has numerous awards, honors, and achievements in the field of pulmonary medicine and publications in scientific journals and books. Above all, he is my undergraduate batchmate from Grand Mountain Medical College. So welcome, Jairaj, and I welcome both the speakers for this session. I'll first request Dr. Bharat to give the editor's viewpoint, followed by Dr. Jairaj who will give the reviews.